Good morning, everyone. It's Teresa with Critters Crochet. Excuse me, I have something on my glasses, and I didn't notice it till I hit the record button. So there we go. Um, but yeah, I wanted to come on today. Today is Tutorial Tuesday, and let me get some light going here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Today is Tutorial Tuesday. So today is part 2 of our Granny Hexagon Cardigan. And I have my 2 panels finished. And I'm going to show you something about these panels. Here's panel 1. Here's the first panel. And here is the second panel. Now, I'm using the Mandala Baby cakes that are in, it's a 3-weight in the color Narnia that I've said before. So when I made the first panel, I just let the colors flow. But for the second panel, I wanted it to be the same as the first. And not all of those cakes, the color doesn't run the same way in the same direction. So what I did is I took one cake. This first panel for my size took a full cake plus a little bit of another. Not much, but a little bit of another to finish it. So what I did, I used this. This is an old Cascade, my dishwasher pods. But I took a cake and I wound up each color and cut the colors out and separated them into balls. That way I could pull and use the colors in the same order that I used on the first panel on the second one. So that's what you can do for your second panel. And I know hindsight, and I apologize, I probably should have mentioned that in part 1, but some of you may have not started on part 2 yet, and that's okay, or even part 1. So to let you know, that's what I did to make my colors even, and to help it look the same on both. So today we are going to fold our panels into our L shapes. We're going to get those folded, and I'm going today show you how to use your measurements to finish out the back, because what's going to happen is you have this panel right here, okay, and then you have this panel, and so this is the front, kind of, sorta. It's not going to come together exactly, but this is the front, and you see the gap. So these are your front pieces, and this is going to be the back. And if we join it right here, it's going to be too tight. So we have to do some granny stitching in the middle on the back part to widen it out so that we have a part that goes across the neck and it fits us across the back. So that's what we're going to work on today, is this center part right here. So meet me over at my other table, and we're going to put this out on the table, and I'm going to show you how to lay this out to be able to start the work on the back side to widen that out so it will fit you. Okay, so I'll meet you back over at the table in just a minute. Okay guys, hi, it's Teresa with Critters Crochet, and we are back at the table. I have my panels folded, and what I've done is there's 2 different ways you can work on your project. The first thing we're going to do before we get to the middle part is we need to seam up our shoulders. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can seam it to where your seam shows, or you can do this so that the seam is on the inside of your work and you turn it right side out. So I choose to have my seam not showing. We're going to do a single crochet across this top and across this side, and I don't want that to show. You may want that to show. It'll have a little ridge. That's fine. If you want yours to show, then you're going to fold wrong sides to wrong side. I have mine folded right sides together because I do not want my seam to show, and so I'm going to start and put my seam on, and then I'm going to turn my sleeves right side out. So to do that, I'm going to take my yarn, and since mine is hidden, it doesn't matter to me what color of yarn I use. I'm just going to do a slip knot and put that on my hook. So it does not matter to me what color yarn I use because it won't be seen. But if you're doing yours on for the right side, for the outside where it'll be seen, then you need to choose which color you want to have as an accent across the seam of your shoulder. All right, so I'm going to move this in a little closer, and so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to move one panel out of the way because we only need, let me get this in a little closer. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over here at the end where with the sleeve end, not the middle, but the sleeve end, and I've got my slip knot on here, and I'm going to go right into this corner stitch, and this is where I'm going to join my yarn. Okay, just do a slip knot and join that right there. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to do single crochets. We're going to do this through both pieces at the same time. So go in that corner and then find your corner on the back part of it and put your hook through, and then just work a single crochet through that corner space right there. Then you're going to go right to that next stitch on that first double crochet, and then find the first double on this side, which can be a little tricky, and you're just going to single crochet. And if you line up your spaces like this, if you line up those spaces with each other, then your stitches are going to just line right up perfectly, and you can just go right in to those stitches and make your single crochet. Okay, so we're going to go right across those three. We're not going to worry about singling inside the space. We're just going to go through our three. We're just going to go right across with a single crochet all the way across. Now, I'm going to single crochet across this one and my second panel, and then I will be back to get us started on the middle part. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, and I'm back. So I am at the last space where we created our chain at the top of the shoulder seam. And so we're going to go ahead and put, excuse me, we're going to put 2 double crochets in that final space. Okay. Now we're going to turn our work. And if you're changing colors, this is where I would change colors. I'm going to do your 2 rows and then change colors, 2 rows and change colors. But I'm just continuing on with mine. So I'm turning my work. I'm going to do a chain of 3 again. 1, 2, and 3. And then yeah, let me look. Okay, so in this space right here, we are, well, excuse me, let me change that. You've got 1 chain right here that's going to count as a double. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put another double on top of that second one. Or no, excuse me, in the same chain that we joined. I'm sorry. We're going to put another double right there. Then we're going to go over to this space and we're going to put our 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you know what? I don't like that. That's too bunchy. That was the when I did a cardi before, that was the directions, and I wasn't even thinking. I don't like that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right into that space and put 3 doubles. 1. Sometimes it's okay to change things up a little bit. If you don't like the way something looks, change it up. There we go. So we're going to put our 3 right there. Then we're going to skip over just like we've been doing. 1, 2, 3. All right, and we're going to continue just like we've been doing down, putting 3 doubles in between each cluster like we've been doing, okay, all the way down to the corner. When you get to this corner space, okay, when you get down here to this corner, I want you to put, now I want to show you a little trick. Since there's 2 here, we're going to put 1 double in that space, okay. When we get to the other side, we're just going to put, if you see 2, you're just going to put 1 double right there at the end. So go all the way to the end with 1 double, okay? And I will meet you back here at this end again. All right, I've gotten to the end of my 3rd row of granny stitches for the back panel. I'm into this space right here. And you see we only have 1 stitch. We had 2 here, 1 here. This is how this is going to work out. You're going to finish with 2. 1, 2. All right, now I'm going to do a quick measurement real quick on these 3 rows and see where I am, because remember I said according to my measurements I'm going to need 6 inches. So let's see, this is the start. Let's go down here. All right, I have about 2 inches, and that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4, excuse me, I said 3rd row, 4 rows. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. That is so easy to do. This is still part of the panel. I started right here. So I have 1, 2, 3 rows done. My goodness, sorry about that. So at the end, I have 1.5 inches for 3 rows. So I'm going to need 6. So I'll just create rows. So let's do some math here. 1.5 gives me 3 rows. Okay, so 3, 6. Well, I'm not even going to try. Math is not my strong suit. I am just going to keep going back and forth until I have 6 inches. Okay, so I don't think I need to show you guys anymore. You understand the granny stitches and going back and forth. When you get your measurement's going to be different than mine because your body's not the same as my body. But for me, I need 6 inches of these panels on either side of my panel. So I'm going to continue this until I have 6 inches on this side and 6 inches on the other side. Now, here's a hint. And I'll come back and show this to you when I finish both panels. But when you start doing this, like I have to have 6 inches on this panel. Okay, when I go to my second panel and I create the 6 inches, each of these shells is like 1/2 inch, okay? So I'm gonna go on the second panel until I have 5.5 inches because we're gonna connect with 1 more row of grannies to connect them together instead of doing a single crochet seam like we did on the shoulder. So I need to do probably about 5.5 inches because that row that we use to connect will make my 6. So keep that in mind when you go to your second panel. You want to be about 1/2 inch short of your measurement on the second panel so that it'll even out when we connect them. All right, so that's your assignment for this, is to finish up your 2 panels, and I will be back in just a minute. It'll be a minute for you. It'll take me a little while, but I will be back after I get my 2 panels done, and I'll show you how to do that final row to connect these. So I'll be back in a few seconds for you to show you how to connect those 2 panels with the final granny row. Hello, hello, we are back. I have finished making the back portion to get my 12 inches. And let me show you. Let's see, we've got 11.5 inches. My 11.5 inches. So the next row will make my 12 inches that I need for my measurements. So what we're going to do is, I ended at the bottom. So what we want to do, I want to flip it to where this is the inside. So I'm going to flip this panel over this way so that I have the inside, the wrong sides together, so that my stitches will be on the right side on the back. So let me get that, pick this panel up and flip it over. All right. So I've got my 2 panels with the wrong sides together. I actually need to turn it this way. Let me get my yarn. Sorry, got you off camera, but I need to, it's going to take me a second. I should have done this off camera. I needed to flip this around. Now, I realized when I finished that one side that it's putting me on the back, but that's okay. If you're on the front, that's even better, but mine's on the back, so I'm just going to improvise a little bit, and I'm going to go through this front and back corner, and I'm just going to get my slip stitch done to put me at the front. Okay, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're going to do one more, and it's like the join as you go, if you've ever heard of that method. And my lighting is really bad right now. Let's see if that helps. I hope that's better. Okay. It's like the join as you go method kind of thing, if you're used to that. If not, it's pretty simple. I'm going to refer, as I'm showing you this, I'm going to refer to this is the front and this is the back, okay? For just this part, so you know what I'm saying. So we did our slip stitch through the corners, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm going to use on the front only, we're going to skip over to this space right here. And for the front only, I'm going to put in my 3. 1, 2. Nope, actually, no, I told you wrong. I'm so sorry. Let me backtrack a second. Sorry about that. 1, 2, 3. We've got our 3 chains. I want to go ahead and in that corner, I want to go through both of them, and I want to go ahead and put another double crochet. That's just going to make it have a neater edge to it as we go. Now we're going to start with just in this front part, I'm going to put 3 double crochets. 1. Get some more yarn here. Whoop. 2, 3. Now just a second, because my yarn is caught on something and I cannot figure out what. There we go. It was all bunched up under my project and I couldn't pull any more yarn out. So we got 3 in the first one. So we're going to go to the next one on the back and do 3. 1, 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. This is how we're joining that back together, okay? And then we're just gonna alternate. We're gonna go to the front, the next space in the front, and put 3 doubles. Then we'll reach to the back panel and we'll put 3 doubles in the next space in the back. Okay, again, go back to your front panel, the next space you have available, 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Reach around to the back. The next space you have available is this one, 3 doubles. And I want you to continue that all the way down the back, joining these 2 together. Go to the front, then to the back, then to the front, then to the back, all the way down till you get to, let's say, this space right here. This next to the last space right here. And I'll meet you back here to show you how to finish this off. All right, guys, we are at the end of connecting our back panel. So I'm going to finish up with 3 doubles here. Well, Teresa, what in the world? Oh, it's been a day, guys. 2. Oh, I need to get in camera. Sorry. 3. To the back panel. To the back panel. Let's see. I'm in this one, so I need to go into this one. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Okay, the last space on in the front, we're going to put our 3. 1, 2. My goodness. All right, and then we're going to go to the back. And what we have here is we're in that back corner right here, this last corner. So we're going to do like we did when we were making the sides. We're going to go in here and make 1 double here. And then I'm going to put the last double in the top of the chain. Okay. 1, 2. So that finishes that off. And then we're going to come to the front, and what we're going to do, this seems a little odd, but just to finish it off, we're going to go in right here in between, or in that last stitch, and then I'm going to go back to the back, and I'm going to go right where in that chain again, and I'm just going to bring it forth together and do a single right there to finish it off. Or not a single, sorry, I shouldn't have done a single, but bring that through. I don't know what I was thinking right there. Let me put that back on my hook and do a slip stitch, not a single. So we're going to slip stitch it to finish it off right there. And then we will just, I'll make 1 more chain, cut my yarn, and we will fasten that off. And let me show you what this looks like when we pull this open. And there's my back seam, and look how much it looks just like the front. Is that not pretty? Look at that. I just love it. And look how that just, all that pink just matches up. Let me see if I can, wrong way. See if I can pull this out a little. But there we go. And that's how that back panel looks. Now, when you get to this point, guys, when you get to this point where your back is finished, we're going to try it on. So I'm going to be back in just a minute. I'm going to get on my laptop where you can see me, and I'm going to put this on and we'll see what it looks like.